Hi. Hola.
Hi, here's Mr. Dozy.
This is Michael Bradley.
Hey, I'm Memphis.
Hey.
Hola. Hello.
I'm here with soccer.com.
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 And I'm talking with my friends soccer.com.
See you soon.
Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the Puma evoSPEED 2 SL in the brand new limited edition celebration pack colorway. Now as you guys can see, this particular colorway does come in a special box. Open it up on the inside, they do include a couple of extras. The first thing you get is this little kind of insole wallet. Open it up, and on the inside they do include an extra set of insoles that are offset in color to match the shoes. And the insole does have the celebration pack logo there on the heel. So close that up, get that out of the way. They also include a string bag to go along with the shoes. The string bag is black in color, has the silver graphics that match the shoes themselves. And again, you see that celebration pack logo in gold one more time there at the top. And then you get the shoes themselves, which are obviously right there. So we'll get these guys out of the box really quickly, and we'll take a closer look at what is a very, very limited edition release from Puma, the evoSPEED 2 SL in the Celebration Pack colorway. Now this is a limited variation of the Puma Tricks Pack, which launched just before the Copa America and Euro 2016 tournament. So obviously with that pack, the right shoe was neon yellow and the left shoe was pink. For the Celebration Pack, for the evoSPEED at least, you have the front half of the shoe being silver, the back half being black, and then the pink and neon yellow accents on both the right and left shoes. That kind of offset each other and pay tribute to that Tricks Pack. Now, like I said, this is a very limited edition release from Puma. The shoe had a retail price of $250 US and was limited to only 94 pairs worldwide. So, as I'm making this video, this particular variation is sold out in North America. So as far as getting a pair for yourself is concerned, eBay is your best bet. Again, they only made 94 pairs, so a very, very limited pack. Unfortunately, they aren't individually numbered, which would have been cool to see, but they aren't. But anyways, in today's video, we are going to be taking a closer look at all the details, the colorway, talk tech specs and performance features with the fairly controversial evoSPEED 2 SL. Take a look at the weight of the shoe because these are extremely light, as well as how they fit and feel on feet. So if you are interested in learning more, please stick around and watch the entire video. And again, if you're interested in a pair for yourself, unfortunately there are only 94 pairs and they seem to be all sold out. So with that being said, let's get right into the review. To start things off, let's take a closer look at the colorway. Now again, these are limited to only 94 pairs worldwide, which is as limited as it gets. The inspiration for the Celebration Pack, I believe, is the actual trophy of the Euro 2016 tournament. That's why you have the silver and gold incorporated into the neon yellow and pink theme of the original Tricks Pack. So the front half of the shoe is metallic silver. The back half of the shoe is black. You have that same pattern there in the middle. And then of course, on the right shoe, you have the form stripe in neon yellow liner in the heel, as well as through the entire upper, as well as neon yellow tips to the studs at the front four. Same thing goes for the opposite shoe, just you have pink instead of neon yellow. So pink form stripe, pink liner, and then pink studs at the very end. You also have in the sole plate, silver towards the front, and then it fades to black towards the heel with the Speed Track and Puma branding there in gold. And then both shoes at the heel also have this particular graphic. Same thing goes for the insoles, where you're gonna find what is basically the logo for the Celebration Pack. So all in all, I think this is actually a pretty cool looking shoe. I prefer the look of this colorway over the original Tricks ones, but let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Do you like how these look? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to the tech specs so we can learn a little bit more about the overall performance. As far as performance is concerned, the evoSPEED 2 SL is a really, really good shoe as long as they last. And lasting is the problem and why this is such a controversial shoe from Puma. So what you're gonna find on the bottom of the sole plate, and I didn't remove the sticker on this particular pair just because it is limited to 94 pairs, so I figured I'd leave it on. But nonetheless, this is what it says. The evoSPEED SL is not for training days. It's for your best days, your match days. It may only be used on real grass and in fair weather conditions. A non-compromise, lightweight proposition. This product is about speed, not endurance, but the moments it creates will last forever. So basically what they're saying is that this shoe, you shouldn't wear it at practice, because if you do wear it at practice, it's going to wear out before you actually get to the game. Now, originally when the first evoSPEED SL with this concept came out, it had a warning label that said that these would be estimated to last about 10 uses or 10 matches. They've since changed the label, so it doesn't give a specific time frame for how long they'll last. But based on my experience with the evoSPEED SL and the evoSPEED 2 SL, the 10 game kind of estimated time period for how long these things are going to last is pretty accurate. And what goes wrong, because a lot of people ask, is basically the sole plate separates from the upper, mainly because it's so thin, it's so light. The shoe weighs less than 4 ounces. It's as light as anything that you can get right now. But again, that comes at the cost of the shoe just not being very, very durable. It's not really a design flaw by Puma. It's just what happens when you make a shoe as light as this is. So I appreciate the honesty from the brand. Is it worth the $200 or so retail price that it costs to get a pair of evoSPEED 2 SLs? That's something you kind of have to determine for yourself. If you kind of average it out, 10 games, $200, it's about $20 per use. If it lasts that long, I found that the pairs that I wore lasted between 7 and 8 uses, but that's obviously going to be different for everybody. But again, it's an expensive proposition for a shoe that they are warning you is not going to last very long, and I can confirm won't actually last very long. Now, in terms of actual performance features, while you are wearing these shoes and while they aren't broken, they're absolutely fantastic to wear. The experience of wearing something this light is phenomenal. It feels like you're not wearing shoes at all, and the sole plate and stud pattern actually work really well too. So it's a good performing shoe, but again, it just doesn't hold up all that well. The upper is a textile-based material with a speed frame support structure, or a speed frame support system. So basically what you have is a very, very thin textile mesh, which you can actually not see all that well on this particular colorway, given that it does have a metallic silver finish. Normally it would be a kind of thin, semi-translucent finish to the surface of the upper, so you could actually see all the speed frame structuring on the inside, but it is still there. You just can't see it because it's a solid color. So you have that webbing all the way through, and it's just a very, very thin layer of mesh. They kept things as minimal as possible to make the shoe as light as possible. Now, it does have a lot of give to it. It's really, there's no stiffness to this material at all just because of how thin it is. It does feel a little bit flimsy on your foot. It's not the most responsive shoe in the world, but because they are so light and because they actually fit pretty well, it doesn't really make the shoe feel like they're not moving with your feet. It does feel pretty responsive when you're wearing them. And again, the experience is fantastic. It's like not wearing shoes at all. It's the closest you can get to being barefoot, both in terms of touch on the ball, as well as just the overall weight of the shoes on your feet. Laces run down the middle, obviously. There is some very minor texturing to the upper, but not something that really impacts touch in any way. Obviously, it's a standard low cut. You do have an external heel counter, which we'll talk about in just a second. The inside heel liner is a textured synthetic leather material with a decent amount of padding considering how light these are. The comfort is, again, surprisingly good considering how light the shoes are. They also do have a set of insoles. This is the lightweight one. They include the extra set of kind of thicker ones in the box that you saw at the start of the video. But these insoles are really cool. It's a super, super light foam. There's no liner. It's just straight up foam, and there are perforations throughout, as you guys can see. Very similar to what we saw from the insole on the Nike GS series, which was a limited edition run from Nike, a GS1 and a GS2. But this is something you can buy right now on the evoSPEED 2 SL, and it actually does do a pretty good job of underfoot cushioning considering how light and how thin it actually is. The outsole, it is made from a combination of Pebax and nylon material. So what you're going to find is that it's super, super thin, tons of flexibility here, again, just to make the shoe as light as possible. You do have the external heel counter, which isn't there so much for protection because there really isn't any protection on offer with this shoe. It's there more so just to keep your heel on the base of the sole plate itself and prevent it from sliding side to side, which it does effectively. And then, of course, the sole plate. It's super thin, it's super flexible. So again, they recommend on that tag that you use this on fair natural grass fields, which essentially means that you should be using this on really nice fields. If you don't play on nice fields regularly, these will break down even more quickly, and you're going to have issues with stud pressure as well. So these are really made for super nice, well-kept natural grass fields that have a little bit of softness to them, if you will. That's where you're going to get the best performance as well as the best durability out of this shoe. If you wear it on hard ground or especially on artificial grass, expect them to break almost immediately, if I'm completely honest with you guys. The stud pattern itself, it's pretty unique in that it does have 3 studs under the heel. That's there mainly to reduce the weight of the shoe as much as possible, and it actually performs the part too. It doesn't feel weird, it doesn't feel unstable. It's honestly not something that you really notice when you're wearing the shoes. But the forefoot, you have these 4 conical studs towards the front of the shoe that are fairly long, very aggressive, dig into the ground quite nicely. And again, because the shoe is so flexible, you really have as much contact with the ground as possible, no matter which way that you twist and turn, which means maximum traction because you have as many studs under your feet as possible. Then they have their speed track system running through the midfoot area, where basically it stiffens it up even though it is so thin. And again, the sole plate actually performs really, really well. It's super thin, so again, really made for super nice fields. But if you are on that super nice field, wearing these shoes is a pretty unique experience. Again, it's just a matter of justifying whether or not you want to buy a pair of shoes that you know are not going to last all that long at all. That's something you have to kind of justify on your own. As far as weight is concerned, that is really what makes the evoSPEED 2 SL experience so special. I know I always talk about in my videos that weight isn't the most important thing when you're talking about a modern high-end soccer shoe because they're all pretty light, but when it comes to the experience that these provide, because they are so much lighter than everything else, it truly is a very, very unique feeling to wear these things. So I'm going to weigh this pair for you today in real time using this scale. Keep in mind this is a brand new pair in a size 9.5 US. Going to throw them on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at a remarkably lightweight, 4 ounces exactly, the equivalent of 113 grams, just over the 100 gram mark, which, like I said, is as light as it gets. The next lightest thing is just over the 6 ounce mark, and these are more than 2 ounces lighter than that. So I can't really describe to you how it feels to wear these things. It's kind of something you have to experience for yourself, but I can assure you that if you really want that true weightless sensation, nothing else does it better than the evoSPEED 2 SL. All right, so here is a look at the evoSPEED 2 SLs on feet. On my left foot, I have the stock gray laces that come with the shoes, and on my right foot, I have a pair of metallic gold reflective SR4U replacement laces. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. Find a direct link to that website down below in the description of this video. Now, in terms of how these things fit and feel on feet, there really isn't any break-in time required, mainly because there's really nothing to break in. It's more so just a period of waiting for the shoes to physically break, if that makes any sense. So you put them on, wear them, enjoy them while they last, and that's really what these shoes are all about. It's more about the experience as opposed to the kind of long-term goal, because long-term they just aren't going to make it. What I really like about this shoe is when you put them on, there is almost nothing to it. The upper is super thin, it's super flexible, the sole plate is super flexible. It feels like you're wearing the bare necessities of what a soccer cleat is, but you still get obviously the benefits of a soccer cleat when it comes to traction, I guess. The touch on the ball, super thin, they feel super thin on your feet, they're weightless, and given how thin and how flimsy the upper actually is, it does fit quite well, and it secures your foot in place pretty nicely too. As far as the overall fit of the shoe is concerned, they'll fit pretty much anybody. I know it's an evoSPEED line, and people would expect this to have kind of more of a narrow fit to it. It really doesn't. They'll be suitable for most people. Again, nothing really to break in. There's some give to the upper just being how thin it is. And like I said, they will fit most people pretty comfortably. As far as sizing is concerned, Puma's run, or at least the Evo Power and evoSPEED lines, run about a half size small. So instead of wearing my usual size 9 US, I bumped it up to a 9.5, and the fit and length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend going a half size up in order to achieve the best possible fit. All right, guys, that's it for my review of the limited edition celebration pack Puma evoSPEED 2 SL. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, unfortunately, these things aren't available anymore. But if you do want to see the high quality images of my pair that I took myself, you can check out the review page on my website, which is the very first link down below in the description of this video. If you have any questions at all regarding this shoe, leave them down below in the comments and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information linked in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.